Hey guys, Blenderbeetle here. So it's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it? This is getting to be a bit of a habit. I am back in the living room, and what that means is there is never a quiet moment in the house. But I've actually been inactive for a couple other reasons. If you look at the bottom left of the screen, you can probably see my sellout playlist. In other words, I have been spending most of my time creating and uploading designs to Redbubble. I am unfortunately a grep now, which means I need to figure out how to make some money. So I have been working on building my business through print on demand. Not much luck yet, but my uh my compromise so that I could still do YouTube videos was I'm gonna have that little playlist thing playing on all these videos. I apologize. It's like having an ad on the video, but since YouTube won't let me run ads anymore, this is the most efficient way. But I'm going to animate today. So I'm really happy about being able to get back. I do need to say officially, unless something drastic happens in the future, there will be no more tutorials on this channel. The reason being, I simply don't have the time between my life, my new business, hopefully some time-lapse animations. Between all of that, I simply do not have the time to do the amount of research and prep that it takes to make the tutorial videos, unfortunately. So I'm just going to stick with time-lapse animations, time-lapse paints, these real-time animations, story time type whatever. This is going to be I would think I was calling them my Annie blogs, but that seems a little cheesy. We'll see what we do with that. And I will mostly be doing these videos at night. So if you have trouble hearing me, it's because I'm trying not to wake anybody up. So let's get started. I titled it Fun today. So I actually got started with a little sketch here. Actually, this was yesterday, I believe. I was just kind of playing around. I've tried to record this video probably 3 times in the past week, and this is hopefully going to be the time that works. I'm just over here, and I'll use the start menu on the page you can see, and I'm trying to find my, it would help if I could remember what it's called, my video, or not video, image reference thing. Has a super cool name, and you all probably know it. I thought I normally, oh, there it is, Pure Ref. Lovely reference app. There it is with all my lovely raccoons on there. So I'm gonna have to redo my warm-up stuff probably because like I did a ton of warm-up for this and then just went and left it alone for a couple of days and that kind of kills it, doesn't it? We're gonna copy this and paste it over here because I really like sketchy pencils. So we're going to start with some warm-ups. We're not actually going to animate with this guy. He's just kind of a practice exercise I did. He's supposed to be, I think he's supposed to be that one, or at least a kind of cartoony version of that one. So we're going to zoom on these guys. We're going to do some play with fur and raccoons. If you've been with this channel a while, you've probably seen the videos about the webtoon that I attempted to do a while back. You probably noticed that my voice keeps getting louder and quieter. It's because I keep getting excited and talking louder, and then I realize, oh shoot, it's like midnight. So, and I did from that webtoon was all about this raccoon family that moved to Korea. And while it was super fun, it's really not me. I wasn't very good at it. I didn't like how it was looking, so I kind of switch gears and abandon that project. So, but after probably 2 months of drawing constant raccoons, it might have been less than that, but there was the prep months, so there was more time. I had some practice and got to really work on how I think I should draw these guys. And right now I'm actually kind of trying to go a little more realistic than I did with that one. That my raccoons for that one were something like, got the eye, nose. I think that's how I did the smiles, and then they just kind of really quickly added in the mask here without a lot of detail or fine points. And this is kind of how I drew my raccoons for that series. So I'm trying to go for a more realistic and close to reality look for this warm up here. It's just partly why I'm trying to get those highlights in on the eyes. One of the downsides of Toonz rasters, it's got this great brush and then it has this blocky eraser, and I don't know if there's a way you can erase. Oh yeah, there's a way you can erase with the brush. But I don't have my palette here. Let's pull up my palette. Um Also, a side note. So one of the reasons I'm starting this up again is I got a, not palette. I need my style editor. Anyway, one of the reasons I'm starting to post again is I got a comment. I don't remember who from because I kind of, well, I couldn't find the comment for a while. And the comment was from somebody who was excited to find someone who was doing streaming for OpenToonz, and they asked if I could keep doing it. And well, I cannot do streaming because I'm just not good at streaming. I learned this while I was trying to stream, and the minute somebody comes into stream, I go dead silent. I feel like oopsie, you need to make an extra style, so yeah, no, this is a bad idea. Pretend that didn't just happen. I was considering making it a transparent style and then coloring over it, but that doesn't work as well. That works great in raster or some things, at least it used to. I don't know if that's still a thing, but in Toonz raster, the problem is that the styles the lines retain their style. So when you change the style, it kind of ruins all the plans. So we're just gonna have to stick with our ugly old eraser here. Okay. But anyway, so this is my way of kind of keeping these real-time OpenToonz videos happening while still not having a super awkward, terrible, silent, ridiculous video that I upload or don't upload so much as do, I guess. So yeah. And that comment essentially, I was totally going to act on it, but then I couldn't find it. And I found out it somehow ended up in the likely spam section, and I do not know why. I apologize to the user. Thank you so much for showing an interest in my videos and I guess liking my channel. Um, so yeah, I'm loving how this little guy's turning out, but we're gonna move on to another one. Oh wait, gotta color in these ears here. And I don't yet know exactly what I'm gonna do. I just knew I wanted to do something with a raccoon, partially because I had this pure ref thing saved. I love that you can save the sets, the image sets. Like if you go over here and try and save it, you can save it as this lovely .pur file and you can find it again. Like I got my, no, I don't want to save. I want to open. I got my kittens. I got my puppies, and then I've got my raccoons. So that just makes life so much easier. We're gonna play with this guy in the tree here. He is adorable. So we got our tree branches here, and that's probably the most important part when you're drawing something that's wrapped around something is drawing the thing it's wrapped around first. And if I sound like a tutorial or like a how-to video, it's not. I'm not actually trying to make a how-to video. Don't necessarily follow it. This is just me thinking out loud. And yeah, I do admit that I sometimes think in tutorials as a way of figuring out a process, which sometimes creates very unreliable tutorials in my head, and I have to kind of unlearn things that I didn't actually learn from anybody but myself, which may be kind of odd now that I think about it. That sounds weird. And while I'm loving this guy, I don't like how small I drew him because we're getting all this pixelation. So we're gonna finish off this sketch here, and then we're gonna actually draw this guy again. The other reason, like, I'm making videos again is, I really miss animating. Like, I've been trying to advertise for Redbubble, and it just sounds so. I have this habit of an advertisement should be formal, right? So I can write an okay advertisement. I need to figure out how to. Can eraser have pressure? What about pencil mode? What's pencil mode? Nope, not pencil mode. Oh man. So, okay. Anybody in the comments, if you know how to erase, maybe with like the with the raster brushes, just some way of create erasing without having to create the tiniest one. Hold on. Might have actually found it. Do you guys work? Nope. Oh, wait, I have to actually switch to a brush, don't I? Nope, they don't. So if you know how to erase without that ugly giant pressureless eraser, or if you know how to make that ugly giant pressureless eraser not so ugly giant and pressureless, please let me know in the comments. It's driving me insane. I miss my lovely awesomeness of. This is why I normally do my sketching in Krita and do my compiling and kind of timing in OpenToonz because Krita has better brush options. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of create a new frame here. And this is where having a big pressureless brush actually helps because you don't end up with trace amounts left over. So we're going to do one more sketch and then we're going to switch over to animating mode because I did not do this little guy justice and that upsets me. He's too cute. See what I mean though? Like I have to erase the whole thing. Okay. You know what else was weird? Like today I was just kind of sitting around on my computer and I got a message saying that there was a comment on one of my videos, and I was like, okay, so someone found my tutorial again, because that happens actually quite often. And it said that this video randomly showed up in my recommended. You might get more recommended and get followers, but it wasn't on this account. It was on my Blenderbeetle Animation Challenge account, and they had actually somehow, through recommendations, found my day 1155 on my Blenderbeetle Animations account, just out of the blue, with no information from that account for months, because I mean, I kind of stopped posting there. That was just so out of the blue. It caught me off guard today. I feel bad though, because that account's completely abandoned now, because I'm, well, not doing daily animations. I might start doing that again. That could be fun. And for those of you just watching this for animation and you do not like the whole chit chat part of it, feel free to mute me and put on your own music. I do have a tendency to ramble or chatter when I am doing one of these, mainly because I feel like it is terrible to leave your audience with utter silence. And I forgot to turn on the music for this one, so I should probably, oh my gosh, that just made it worse. Ooh, don't look at that. Look back at the cute little blurry one there. We'll leave you with memories of that. Okay. We're gonna get rid of that so you don't have to see it. Okay. So pretending that didn't happen, we're gonna go into animation now. And also, just information, I have no intention of editing this, because even though I have a fairly decent computer, it can take hours upon hours to render an hour-long video from the crappy free software that I use. So it will be probably uploaded in its raw form, the way you're seeing it and hearing it right now. So let's hope that doesn't, like, kill anybody. Anyway, I really gotta remake my basic raster palette. I have some pre-made raster palettes that I used in the last version of OpenToonz, but since I downloaded this to a different location, they don't transfer in. So, okay. So we're gonna do an animation. Let's start with a lovely, oh my goodness, I cannot draw. We're gonna start with a lovely floor here. If I can create a decently straight line, and this is what you don't see in the speed paints, is the constant and ridiculous amount of times that I undo and draw again. I mean, you may see them in mine. I don't know how many people leave those in, but they are way more frequent than some artists want to pretend. Okay. I think part of it's my angle, like, I have a desk and I don't like drawing at my desk, and yet I'm still drawing at my desk. Okay, we have a lovely floor here. Let's just give it a little bit of a shade. That's terrible. Do we have, let's make a bigger brush. And And one of the beautiful things about the way styles work is I can then go to my palette in color section and turn down the opacity. The problem is that didn't work the way I was expecting it to, and I know why. So I need to actually make another level here if I want the shading to be the way I wanted, not a raster level. I still don't trust raster levels since essentially it's been crashing my program. I know it's supposed to have been fixed in one of the updates, but OpenToonz doesn't tend to like me for unknown reasons. I just managed to find all the bugs, so we're just going to stick with Toonz raster, which I have had little to no issue with. Just gonna fill this in. And this one should work the way we want it to. We then go to palette, change the color for sure, and there it is, change the opacity and your lovely lines show up and you get your shading. Okay, now we don't want to work on either of these levels. We're gonna collapse them into a subx sheet and we're just gonna leave that alone. Let's pull it all the way out here, say, and I think 120 is probably the longest I'll go. That's 10 seconds. There's no way I'm making it to that tonight. Especially since we're already, it's already 12:30. Okay. And then, can I insert a column? I should be able to insert before. We're gonna do the drawing bit now. So, first things first, we're going to draw him something to interact with. There you are. Because I always do better when my character is interacting with something. So, say a box. Boxes are always nice, safe, and easy to work with. And since I haven't really animated much in the last 6 months, I need to be eased back into it. I did do the 11-second challenge for January, but yeah, I don't think I actually posted it anywhere. I may have posted it in some places, but like I don't think it ever made it to this YouTube channel, which I'm not exactly sure why. I think I just got embarrassed about maybe how really dumb it looked. And I don't know, every time I went to upload it, it was like, no, don't do it. So I didn't. So we're actually going to explode this subx sheet because I got ahead of myself here. Because this cube is actually part of the background. So we're going to actually fold it in with the background. Where is collapse? Okay. That way, because I don't plan on having this cube moved, that way when we extend this out to our 120, it's right there with it. Okay. Insert before. Now, let's start with the raccoon on it. So we're going to want to kind of get a better look at our reference photos. I need my palette. I don't know why I keep ditching my style editor. I think it just is kind of bulky, but regardless, I need it. There you are. That was odd. What was that? It just vanished on me. Oh, why? I don't want a vector. I want a Toonz raster. That should be right. There we go. And there we go. Good. We're actually going to change that to a light blue. Or maybe a dark blue. I'm trying to be able to see it but not have it blend in with our red background here. So, 30 minutes in, we're just now getting to animation. Here we go. Let's just start with a neutral pose of the raccoon kind of on here, and we're not going to put any details in here yet. We're just going to play with this puppet kind of raccoon. I'm gonna have his tail kind of hang off the side here, like he's kind of just relaxed and hanging out on top of this box. That's not a very relaxed pose now, is it? Just gonna play like that. I think that's good. Kind of give us little tufts and ears. Now, I think we can have him. Oh goodness, how do I turn on my? Okay, there we go. Should we have him stretch? If we did that, let's see. This guy's kind of stretching. I don't know. Does he look upset or something? Let's just kind of put his head down. I don't really know how raccoons stretch. I really should have looked at reference, but let's just put his head down. Stretch that fur up. And we'll have him yawn, but we're not getting to that yet. Just kind of thinking here. He looks kind of upset, maybe scared. That's not exactly the look I'm going for. Maybe we can tilt his head down. Maybe that would help. Okay, well, I don't know if you heard that. My mom just kind of walked into the room. So, this is why we're recording at midnight. Slash 12:30. So maybe we could turn his head down and that would make it look a little less menacing. Yeah, I think that worked. So we got rest pose, stretch pose, and he's growing and shrinking quite a bit there. So we're gonna actually take this guy and we're gonna make him bigger. There you go. That's better. So should we put him back in the rest pose after that? I think. Well, I'll probably end up redoing that rest pose, but I think instead of that, let's have him kind of a little more ready to kind of go somewhere. With his head up. And where to from there? Should we have him like peeking over the side, like what's down there? Gonna have to get him here later, but you know, it's just beginning stages. Nobody cares what we actually know he's gonna get to. We'll just get him there in a bit. So he's kind of looking over the side going, ooh, what's down there? And then we can have him jump down there. That's too low. I know I've seen cats jump in a way that like they've got their back paws on here, and they just kind of reach out with their front legs, and their back paws are gonna kick off and gonna propel them down, but they kind of just let their bodies fall to begin the movement. So maybe we could go like that. I've never actually seen a raccoon jump off of anything, I mean. And then we could have his legs trailing back here. Looks almost like a chicken there. We will. You'll find a lot of my animations start with the words, we'll figure that out later. Or you'll hear a lot of, I'll figure that out later, or I'll redo that in a bit. And truth be told, I don't know if I redo it or not. And let's go ahead and just have his tail up there. Isn't that nice? Love that little tail. That tail is getting bigger and smaller all the time. Okay. And right here, I think we should have kind of a almost a ready pose here. Like, he had something he was looking for when he went down, but we didn't really plan any of that, did we? He just made his descent and now he's kind of sitting there. Okay. I don't actually know how to turn this thing off without, there we go. Just double click on it. So let's scroll through that, see what we got here. So he kind of looks less and less like a raccoon as we go, but that's okay. We're just kind of playing here. My director at my internship would have said, can we do a little bit more of a stick figure for the first pass? Like I was always drawing with too many bubblies or too much detail for her in this first pass, so maybe she's right on that one. So I think we need more of an anticipation here, because like he just goes straight from I just yawned to I'm jumping down here. I have no idea why, but you know, I'm just interested. So first of all, we can extend this frame out a little bit, so then he holds the look a little bit longer, but I think also we need kind of almost a hesitation or a like a pointed look down at the ground between these two frames. And I keep pressing the right button because in Krita, when you press the right when you right click, it gives you this lovely little menu of all your brushes. So we're just gonna keep his body in the complete same position for this one, but we're gonna give him a pointed look at the ground. He sees something. Maybe that direction. And this might be a little cat-like. But yeah. Is that looking better? Yeah, I think that's working better. And I think after this, it'd be really funny if he startles and just runs off screen for an unknown reason. Like if there's something over here that made a noise or something, and he kind of plops up here. I really am drawing a cat, aren't I? I don't know how raccoons behave. I think one of the reasons I'm drawing a raccoon is we watched Incredibles 2 tonight, and the raccoon versus Jack Jack fight is hilarious. And so I guess I just like raccoons because of that. Yeah, we're just gonna give him a little bit of a terrified expression for no reason. We're gonna draw all this out anyway. And when he gets back on the ground, he's kind of like already planning, already turning. I saw once, oh, it was a while ago, but I saw this cat. And what he did when he went to turn is he just kind of picked up his front legs. He completely supported himself on his back legs, and there was no issue with his movement. It was gorgeous. But like by the time he got to here, he was already reaching with his front legs. He was already getting out of there, but his back legs were like working on the turn still. And if I can just kind of get that across here. And right here you could just see his back legs pushing. And we're just going to let this one lift off the ground because, you know, he can't be that far if his leg's back there, he can't be that far. So and I don't actually know how these guys run, or any animals for that matter. I am not good at run cycles, so we're just gonna leave it there for now. Kind of give it a whirl. Okay, that was too fast. And the run I think was too slow. Let's try refame. No, we want to step because we've already got that in there. Step at 4. Put this on 12 because 12 is a nice speed for testing. And let's see. Okay, the run is super freaking slow. But the run slow, this top part is fast because it's just the barest keyframes. So we're gonna pull these out. And then for over here, we want to have him hesitate a little more on the ground. Like right there. Jump. And you guys, we can each these by 2. And that'll probably look better timing wise. Let's see. Stretches. Sees something. Jumps down. Freaks out. Okay, way too much of a pause right there on that last one. He's like seeing something, but there's nothing going on there. So let's try that. There we go. That timing's a little bit better. Now there was one part up here that I thought he didn't pause long enough. Right here with his look. He just kind of looked and immediately jumped. Let's see. Stretch. Pointed look. Jumps down. And freaks out and runs away. Okay, so now we got our basic poses. We're going to go ahead and insert another frame. Just want to insert before. Another level. Okay, and this one we're going to keep black, but we still want our lovely sketchy brush thing. And let's kind of make this guy look a little bit more like a raccoon rather than this hybrid raccoon kitty weird thing. Anyway, so I figured this out with dogs the other day. One thing you can do with a dog is their muzzle is like this. It's this lovely rounded shape with a nose in the middle. Like almost any dog you can find that shape. And I'm thinking raccoons are probably similar. So we're just going to use that shape. Especially since if you look, you've got see that shape right here. They've got more of a pointed shape with it going up into their black area. So we're going to use that there. And we are still getting a little too detailed too quickly, but we're just gonna that's always gonna be my problem, isn't it? But we're just gonna roll with what we got here. We don't need facial markings yet. But we do need reference. So we're gonna actually kinda readjust this guy's position here, because he doesn't really look at ease in that shot. So his head is now too big. Okay, where's freehand? There you are. So we're gonna go ahead and shrink this down. Give him a little bit of a neck, because necks are important. Okay. This guy's a chubby one. And his tail coming around here. Hanging off the side. There we go. Now we got him. And we're going to kind of erase this bit here because the head's what's important. Sort of. The nose, rather, is kind of what's important. Why does that seem so much bigger now? I guess it's not any bigger. It's just always been that big. Okay. And we're going to rewind that because I don't like that thing erased. It's like, it needs to be bigger though. Okay. We're gonna go with that. And for the next one, we're gonna have to extend this out. Now we have our rewound or our last frame. And it looks like that lovely shape, teardrop shape is right there with the fuzz on the hair going out like that. And the biggest problem I always have with any kind of animal drawing is the placement of the ears, because that's so weird. And I love this cute little guy with his hair standing all up, and that's not technically, he's not yawning, he's probably on guard, but we're gonna use it because it's adorable. I'm trying to make him look chubbier because like the one sitting down, he is super big. This is gonna be one of those fluff versus is this one of those fur versus fat arguments. Okay, let's turn off that and see what we got here. Yeah, I think that looks good once we get our tail in there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and kind of drag in that guy since, oh, I cannot see anything because we had red. Wait, there it is. We're just trying to keep the sizing consistent, or at least basically consistent, which is, again, never something I've been good at. But we're just gonna work here. So he's too big. We're gonna put him back into that original resting position if we can figure out where it was. Oh, that's why this is his stomach. That's why I'm getting confused here. So he's a little more alert. He's got his head up. But like I'm trying to figure out how to show that. I'm gonna turn that off and we're gonna mess with these front paws a little bit like that. That does not look right. He is an obese little raccoon. I think that's better. Yeah, okay. That looks to me like the same raccoon. Next bit is the harder parts because they didn't originally look like raccoons. So ugh. Cannot do raccoon noses from the side. That's a little bit better. Okay. How's that? I think that's pretty decent. We should really save this because I have not been saving at all and I just suddenly got very scared. Okay. And this actually looks pretty decently close to what I'm going for in this raccoon. I'm gonna have a heck of a time trying to get him to these positions if I decide to in between and do all that. I don't know yet if I'm just leaving this guy at the keyframes. Trying to figure out, that's not very good size wise. Let's make that bigger. Mm-hmm. I feel like later I'm gonna go look up how raccoon jumps and find out that I'm completely wrong on this and this looks nothing like a raccoon. But yeah. Okay, so here's the real challenge because I did not draw that. What even is that? Oh goodness, okay. So I need to make that look like that. And the head has changed size completely. This is why you actually pay attention to the proportions in these early stages, but you know. And that is still a way bigger head. Oh my, that was unintentional. There you go, okay. Yeah, I think that's good. just got this belly right here. And I'm thinking I'm not gonna have any kind of anticipation for the freak out. Like do it that comic style where they just suddenly pop into the air and then run off screen. And not to like make this guy look more like a raccoon. Ugh. I'm trying to decide, does his tail go like that or does it go like that? I think it goes down. We're gonna keep it the way I have it drawn in the sketching, or the early sketching rather. And then we're gonna just leave this run alone for the second, and we're going to go watch that. So he stretches, he sees something, he jumps down, then he freaks out. Okay. So that it all actually works. I think his head is still changing a lot between this frame and this frame. So we're gonna go ahead and shrink that down a little bit, and then we are going to real quick do the exit, and maybe we'll do some sketchy in-betweens. I think I've got time. I've only been recording for an hour or so. Oh yeah, I kind of got to turn my sketch layer back on. Okay. And we're gonna do, he caught himself down here on both paws. It's not just the back ones. And he's got his head towards the ground because he's turning and he's kind of doing this arc there. We're gonna whip his tail around, like he's pulling this back end this direction, so his tail's kind of gonna go this direction. And see, this is where it kind of falls apart. This would not happen. That's not what we want to do. We really want to keep his foot firmly planted there. And maybe pull this guy forward a little bit. And even though he's turning, he's got kind of his gravity going, and his tail is whipping around here. So if you could see right through, his tail would kind of look like that right there. I love tails. Tails are so pretty. So we're gonna kind of try and keep those arms existing here because they seem to be kind of getting lost. Does that kind of look like he's running? And now here's the hard part where I have to kind of make him look like it's still a raccoon despite this extreme stretch. We're gonna keep that tail whipping. He's not done whipping that tail around yet. And this is actually the last frame I did. Let's see how this turns out after this one. Okay. Yes, I like this. Shall we see how it turned out? Or is turning out, I suppose. It's not done yet. Okay. Yes, I like this. Now we're going to go ahead and set the stop before he freaks out, just because I plan on doing some in-betweening, and until we've got some basic in-betweening done up here, I don't think we really want to mess with that run. I'm not good at run cycles to begin with, so we're just gonna leave that for tonight. Now, what we have here is first frame, second frame. And we need kind of an anticipation into that stretch probably. So we want to go down with this guy before he goes up. So we're just going to kind of pick a spot maybe there. And this is where we're going to stop working with last and first and start working with specific frames. Because the last and the next frame will not help you when you get this far apart. Okay, so let's start with the head. I think I read somewhere that you're like never supposed to start with the head, and I thoroughly disagree. I think the head kind of supports the motion, and I mean, if you don't know where the head is, you don't know where the motion is. Oh, but here I've gone and flubbed. He's not supposed to be bending down. He's supposed to kind of just maybe pull his head just up just a little bit. Just because he's getting ready to yawn probably. So this mouth is starting to get ready to open, but he actually doesn't have a mouth to open yet. Let's just kind of probably he'll suck in that belly a little bit. Okay. It's not a huge difference in those frames, but let's look at what we got here. 1, 2, 3, and 2 is just so it's very ugly drawn. It's very roughly drawn is the word I should have said there. So we're going to go ahead and draw over that. We're going to turn off our old one. We're going to use this 15th frame as a reference for drawing our frame here. And I do this quite a bit where like I kind of know where I want everything to go, but I'm not exactly sure, so I'll do a super rough and then a tie down instead of just in betweening it straight. And we did forget this tail here. I think I'm gonna kind of start reeling it in a little bit. I'm gonna pull it in because when he's stretching, you can see his tail's straight out there. So his tail's gonna kind of make it to the back there somehow. So let's go ahead and normally when I do this, okay, as much as I love my level palette there, it's getting in the way. Normally when I do this, I have what I call my throwaway level, where it's not visible to anything, and it is just where I put the frames that I don't want. So we're gonna put that on our throwaway frame and try this again. Turn these off. So we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, we still need some more in-betweens there, but that's our quick anticipation. So we're gonna go ahead and get there. And we're gonna put in and get towards this stretching pose. Not stretch as an animation stretch, but stretch as in kinda he's getting ready for the day. He's stretching before he goes and runs off. So he's kind of putting his head down. His front legs are getting seemingly skinnier, I suppose, because they're getting longer. I think I'm gonna ditch the yawn idea just because I don't know how to make this guy yawn right now. I have no idea what I'm doing here. So we're just gonna ignore that particular part of the animation for the sake of practice right now. Okay, how about that? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yes, I like that. Now for the purpose of timing. Oh, but I don't like that one as much. Okay. I love the fill empty cells option. That is just a lifesaver. Oh, I don't know what I just did there. Okay. My keyboard shortcuts are all wrong because this is a new version of OpenToonz for me, so let's go ahead and delete some of these, pull him up, and fill empty cells. We're gonna just watch that and see how the timing goes, and maybe change it up a bit. I think he spends a little bit too much time on the anticipation there. Let's try it like that. I think we need almost a more exaggerated anticipation, because that anticipation's getting completely lost. You can see it when it's like that. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave that. Okay. So what we got is sitting on the box, stretches, sees something, jumps down, and looks. Okay. So we want to get now from stretching to sitting. I'm just going to do a quick in between there so that we don't have him jumping around so much. I keep doing that. I keep making these giant dots. And we're gonna, for this in between, we're gonna kind of keep his head down a little bit, because he's just kind of easing back into this comfortable pose. I'm thinking maybe we should roll the tail back. Like if his tail was kind of coming down, it just kind of rolls this way. Ooh, excuse me. That was a yawn. Okay, fill empty cells. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, and we're gonna put one more in between in there just to kind of complete the tail rolling. Because without the extra roll, it just looks weird. So like maybe to here, he just kind of, tail's still kind of working its way back into its place. And almost everything should be back to normal at that point. There shouldn't be, actually I think everything should be back to normal except for the tail. Like just give that tail a little bit of a spotlight there. Oops, we don't want that. I think that's all good. Maybe a little bit of a indication that you know where that leg is. How's that look? Yeah, like that. Okay, let's see that. Oops, I forgot his ears. He is an earless raccoon. And something just occurred to me. Do I have? No, I don't. Okay. There's an option, for those who don't know, there's an option in settings to use the X sheet as, well, an X sheet. And so, like, if that is turned on, if I did this, it would make a new frame. But it's not turned on, so it's just drawing in whichever frame is currently there. So I actually don't need to do this whole, the clicking back here to draw. I could just click here and draw, and it's still editing frame 19. So let's see how this is. He stretches. Okay, I like that. Now I should probably add some anticipation right here, right before he goes to look down, because he just kind of suddenly looks down. It's like there should be, like if it was a human, I'd give him a blink. And I mean, maybe giving him blinks the right thing to do here too, but I don't know. He doesn't have eyes yet. Can't give him a blink. But then again, see, one of the things about blinks is one of the nice things about blinks is you can blink, quote unquote, with the whole body. So we're going to, or at least with the head, like we're gonna give him kind of a head blink where he just kind of dips his head down a little bit. And his nose would go down too. And this is just, if he was blinking, it would look like that, but he's not. It's just, he's putting his head down. Okay. There's my head blink. And we're gonna fill empty cells. And we're gonna kind of put one more in between in here just to kind of give a little more easing into it. So we're gonna put it just halfway. And that does not look like a raccoon. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, how about that? He stretches, sees something, jumps down. Okay, I'm really liking how this is turning out. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes, so I think I can go until 2 a.m. and then I really need to get to bed. So let's see if we can get a few more in-betweens in here, breakdowns rather. They're less in-betweens and more breakdowns. A few more breakdowns in here so maybe we got a little more fluid motion, and then I will probably call it a night and upload this tomorrow. So he's kind of looking, and we're going to give him quite some time looking before he decides to move. Probably right about there. We might actually add some more frames in there just so we can have quite a bit of a pause thinking about what he's going to do next. There goes another yawn. Sorry, guys. Okay. And so I'm thinking he's just going to kind of pull his arms up here, where we can get his arms over here before we get his head. Like his head's halfway and his arms have already gotten here, and maybe that would work for the translating between the movements. Still have to figure out how to get his arms there though. Oh, why do I get myself in these situations? Okay. I am trying to figure out where this next frame is. Wowza, he really did make quite a leap there. We're gonna actually move this guy, not that guy. Oh, my redo doesn't actually work. Good to know. As you can see, I don't use redo much. We actually want his other paw right here. I'm gonna have to figure out really where all my keyboard shortcuts are. Okay, I think like that would work. Okay. So we got, ooh, that is terrible. That is not a good breakdown. Okay. Rethink. How do we get from here to here? We should have this breakdown be his legs are here, everything's still here, and he kind of pulls his arm up here so we can see his arm move. Let's see if that helps. And we're gonna leave his nose and head there. So it's just his arm moving at this point. Let's see. And we are probably going to have to make another frame in here. Okay, we're gonna move that down one. Now, we put the one hand there, and his other hand is coming. And this is when his head starts to come forward. And he suddenly has pig ears. Ooh. Okay. I think that did it. So you're actually supposed to all be up one. Okay, fill in empty. He stretches, sees something, moves. Okay, that could be good. I think it's a little bit weird. I think the weirdness is coming from the fact that it looks like his arm's over here, when in reality, that is not part of his arm. I think if you can get across that that's his arm, maybe that'll help. Okay. Let's try this. Nope. I think the weirdness is he's picking his foot up way too high. Like who the heck is like, whoo, that is just wrong. So we're going to come here and erase this foot altogether and try this again. So we're going to do a much more direct path. So we've got, where's it? Okay, turn that off. We've got here, and we've got here. And we're just going to kind of, maybe right here would be good. Like right here. Just somewhere in the middle that's kind of closer to on the same. There we go. That's a little better. Maybe still show the arm bending some. Ugh, no, 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 absolutely not. Oh. Okay. That was a moment of panic there. That looks terrible. Okay. I don't move arms a lot, as you can probably tell. Okay, that actually turned out pretty decent. You know, these are already on twos, so I'm not gonna. Oh, right, that's the running that's not actually involved. These are on fours. I can probably. I'm not sure I really need to do anything for the jump for how far I'm going tonight. You know what? I think I'm gonna leave it there. I might come back to this one tomorrow and do some in-betweening and drawing. Then again, like, I have to figure out how I'm gonna do this so that it's not from 12 to 2, but it was only 12 to 1:30. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this long, long video about a random animator's thoughts as she's animating. I hope you join me next time for what will hopefully be the next phase of drawing this random jumping raccoon. If you wish to support me, please check out my Redbubble link in the bottom left corner. Bottom left? Yes, it is the bottom left. And don't forget to comment and subscribe. Bye bye.